Hey guys, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me in the Star Citizen video. Today we are going to cover the C1 Spirit. This ship has been perfect for me as far as just an all-arounder. This is going to be my kind of new daily driver, the Verst. I have loved every second of flying this. It's taken me a little bit to get this video out because I just wanted to spend some time in it before I made this, so I knew what I was talking about when I was telling you guys, the functionality of this ship. So we have been using this for salvage cargo runs. You can use it for mining cargo runs. I've been testing it out for everything. It is really super easy to get the cargo in and out. The tractor beam probably needs a little work, but it is functional. Kind of like when you get in it and you have to spin it around, and I'll kind of show you that in a second, but it takes a little bit of time to kind of get used to that. So little work in progress. We know this is kind of the first stage of vehicle tractor beams, and we know that they'll get new passes and polishing and stuff like that. What I really love about this ship is just the whole design of the cargo bay area, the space you have, the wideness of the doors. It's so much easier to get a rock if you like rock mining and stuff like that. It's so much easier to get that stuff into this ship. So we're going to walk around this ship and we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to show you like a couple of the things that I really like about it. Now I have my little trusty STV in here. Now this thing gets bounced around in the back. So I left it like this on purpose because I wanted to show you guys when you're flying and you pull the STV in here, like during like high boosts and stuff like this thing ends up getting slid around in the back pretty good. Sometimes it ends up left, sometimes it ends up right, but yes, it is going to move around, so just make a note of that. I imagine this will be something they fix later where the vehicle will kind of stay in place, because it's not like we have straps in here to strap these things down with or anything. And you can see the tail light glitch still on the STV, something they still haven't fixed quite yet. But as you can see, there is so much room in the ship and just the wideness of the doors. Now, the idea of this is that this little area between this door here can close so that you can have a separate compartment cargo away from your, I guess I would call it the vehicle compartment. I call it the vehicle compartment because this is where I normally keep this STV. This STV right here fits right here, and you can close both doors perfectly fine. It's just the perfect fit. It's the perfect vehicle for it. We have tried it. You can get two PTVs side by side here with a little bit of doing, so you could take two PTVs. It's a little work, and I just really wouldn't recommend it. They kind of bounce around too much when they're beside each other. So this ship holds 64 SCU of cargo in here. So if you go into the cargo bay and you're transporting cargo and you call it, you're going to end up with two big 32 SCUs, one on each side. When you're just doing regular salvaging, or maybe you're not salvaging, but cargo running, and you're doing cargo running by yourself or picking cargo off of ships, you're going to get all the sizes, and it's a little bit more difficult to mix and match because right now, if you have the two different types of cargo stacked on top of each other, you're not able to sell that bottom cargo before the top cargo. So again, that is just something to note. So now that we've kind of gone over a little bit of the cargo, let's talk about the weapons real fast before we get into the cockpit area, right? Now, the pilot controlled guns are going to be 4 size 3 weapons. So you're going to have your weapons that are back here that pop up, and then you're going to have your 2 on this turret. Now, as of right now, this is what you get. You're getting the 4 size 3. Now, you can change the size 3 weapons out to repeaters or whatnot, but all the Spirit line, they're all coming with the 4 size 3 cannons. So with the change maybe that's coming, that's been talked about for weapons and balancing and stuff, you may be able to upgrade and have a larger size on here, but just looking at the design, I'm not real sure how a larger, maybe size 4 would actually fit on this turret, unless there's a way to take the turret off and do 2 fixed size 4s. But 2 of these are gimbaled and 2 are fixed. So a note, that's kind of a note when you're fighting. 2 will be able to move on target while you're, you know, making your turn to get the nose for the fixed size guns. There is no turret on the C1, no turret. The turret is actually replaced with your tractor beam turret. So this up here where I'm moving the mouse, that is where your tractor beam turret is. The A1 and I believe the E1, you get a turret with 2 size 2 repeaters. So the whole loadout on the A1 would be 4 size 3s with a 2 size 2 repeaters. But the C1 that we're covering today does not do that. Now, the overall design in this thing is just amazing, right? And it's one of the major reasons why, sorry, getting a little bounced around in here, little desync, but the whole design is something I absolutely love on this ship. It's probably one of the major reasons I bought it. I love that you have the VTOL on the wings that fold up nice and flush. I love the engines that are designed kind of like after the, you know, the C2, A2 series. I love it that they're just kind of like a mini size of that on the back. They look fantastic. The ship is sleek. They come with some amazing paints. I have the Olympia paint. Right now, I think there is some sort of bug with the paints because I cannot get the paints to stay on the ships. So it's like every time I call the ship, I have to put the paints back on it, and it used to not be like that. So I don't know if that's a new Star Citizen feature or it's just something that's bugged where the paint should stay. The engines on this are probably the most, if I had to pick a single favorite, is I just love the engine design. I mean, it is just absolutely stunning the way they did this. The design of this, it's just amazing. It produces like, I mean, it looks like they're almost oversized. This thing can really get up and go for, you know, what you would consider a medium cargo transport. The ship flies great. I think you're going to be very much easy to do, you know, your HRT bounties, your VHRT bounties. Even in this type of cargo plane, it's going to be one of those things where I believe when the AI gets a little more grim, you're going to have to kind of dip out and dip in. But, you know, 4 size 3s hit pretty good. And the maneuverability on the ship right now is actually pretty fantastic for the design and size. The only complaint I would have with that is that when you're making your banks and you're turning, you're a pretty big target with this gigantic wingspan. Okay, so moving on to the one thing that I'm really not liking, and this doesn't have anything to do with the ship per se, but the hangars that they are putting this ship in are just small. I mean, you can see the wingspan where I'm at, and you can see the door. Like, you're barely getting out of these hangars. They're just putting them in a 2 size, like a small size hangar for the wingspan of the ship. Even when you're like going into the hangars, it just needs to be in that 1 size larger hangar, in my opinion. You know, if you really take it super slow, you can inch out of here. But you know, if you're a newer player, man, it's going to be difficult if you're trying to strafe and get out of here, you know, without actually taking a wing off or taking an engine off, which I have absolutely done a couple of times, just being overzealous and trying to zip out of the hangar. But yeah, guys, that is really it for the weapons and kind of what I like about the outside. Now, I'm going to jump back into the inside real fast to finish this video up and just show you kind of the cockpit area, the design, which is another lovely thing. Like, you know, since this is one of the newer ships on the newer areas, or I guess the newer patches, we're kind of getting that, I guess, that crisper kind of detail in the ships now. They don't look quite as dated as, say, like the Andromeda series, which really need an overhaul. But yeah, this is the inside. I went ahead and opened the door here. You have got your little bathroom area, of course, with your sink and everything, and your little, you know, normal Crusader shower. You can see the little glitches over here going on right now. We've got our little kitchen area. We have our 2 beds, which I really like this. I love this design with your panels here. It reminds me of like the newer sci-fi shows. It seems like all those ships have like these panels built into the wall where they take personal calls and stuff like that. We have our space, which I believe was going to be either the escape pods and like suit holders. We also have our weapons rack kind of thing right here where we can store our stuff, which is a very cool thing. And these are externals for 2 double external things. So when you click in here, you go into your external storage, which is another neat little thing. I love that they're doing this. So right out here, you know, this is our little components area. I love that it's right behind the cockpit. It's easy to get to. I think it's going to be great if you're, you know, soloing it or you're dueling it. It'll give you, you know, a short distance to get in here, have everything together, and take care of, you know, your components when that gets in game for like multi-crew and things like that. The cockpit area is actually pretty much the same as what I would say like the A2, C2, M2 type ships are. It's very cool. It's very sleek. You come up here, and even though it looks really slim, you can actually see pretty good out of it. I zero complaints. It's not like trying to fly the Eclipse where you see so much of the top. When you're here, it kind of zooms in enough where you do get enough view here. Okay guys, real fast, we are going to jump into Erkul Games, and I want to show you, I do this in most of my videos, I just kind of want to show you what the components are. I'll go over it super briefly, and that will kind of take up the final part of the video. Okay guys, real fast, Erkul Games. If this is your first time seeing this website, I will put the link in the description, but it's a kind of a DPS online calculator, and kind of gives you your loadout and what your ship could have on it. It tells you here anytime you click on an item where you can get it and where it can be purchased at, and so you can do your builds and then just travel around the verse and get your ship loaded out. So real fast on this C1. So the nose turret, like I said, right now it's locked. This is something that could change in the future, but it comes with 2 size 3 cannons and then your 2 fixed size 3 cannons on the wings, and that's all you have for weapons. These are pilot controlled weapons, no actual co-pilot turrets. Your missiles, you have 4 size 3, which could be changed out to size 1s. Size 1s hit pretty decently. Right now in the meta, it's kind of the more the merrier at the moment, but that could change at any patch, so just be aware of that. But the great thing about this ship is the stock components that it actually comes with, right? I love it. I love that, like right from the get-go, if we have another wipe or something, you don't have to be too concerned with going around the verse doing a loadout like right out of the gate. Like, it comes with decent stuff. You are getting military grade items on this. So, you know, the shield's a grade C, not terrible. This would be about the only thing I'd really be concerned with switching, especially on a cargo ship. But it comes with a pretty good, probably one of my more favorite quantum drives. It does perfectly fantastic. It's kind of like right there in the middle of speed versus fuel. You know, it's not something that you would have to be concerned with swapping out. So yeah, guys, I mean, like I said, right here, there's not much to talk about for this particular ship in here. Maybe later I'll do a loadout guide, but I don't see the real need for one because there's not much you can change. The ship is pretty good out of the gate. Okay guys, and that's going to do it on our overview for the C1 Spirit. If you're still here and still watching, thanks for sticking around, guys. Seriously, the support is amazing. It's been really great and overwhelming, and just wonderful to be able to meet some new people. Met quite a few new people lately. Just by doing this channel. Thank you guys. Thanks you for getting over the hump of 1,000 subscribers. It's been amazing. We're gonna keep doing this. I love doing this. Jess and I are planning on streaming every Sunday, and yeah, we're gonna keep this up. So thanks for the support as always, and I will always see you on the next video.